Hello, 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 Danny.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Oh, uh, I'm very tired. We suddenly had a severe thunderstorm here in Baltimore, and I was like, this is gross. Right as I got off work too.
Mm.
Yeah, needless to say, I got home and I took Fiora downstairs, and she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna pee, and then I'm immediately gonna come back inside. I don't want to be out here." So it was one of those days. Um, Also, again, chat, I apologize that I'm mad crispity as per usual. Um, yeah, until I get a ring light back here, that's just gonna continue at this point. I don't really get a choice. So Danny, anything special happened to you this week?
Just basically getting ready for next week.
God, I'm not looking forward to it. I still haven't finished the season pass. Between finishing Tank Season Pass and D2 Season Pass, oh my god, why do they both have to fall on the exact same fucking day, man?
I'm sitting at looking level 200.
I don't know how you're able to fucking do that. Oh my god. There are too many fucking games I want to play to get battle passes anymore. Jesus. So, alright, well, let's hop right into it. There's a lot of decent stuff in Thursday's TWAB. I was gonna say today, but
Yeah, this
we're recording this a day late because I'm a fucking idiot. Uh,
this one's a good one.
yeah, pretty solid. I have also seen a lot of backlash on Twitter about some very specific things. So, yeah. So with that being said, going over this week, we've got raid date time, fail containment behind the scenes, Warden's Law, week 2 of Solstice, economy overhaul recap, plus a nod to DMT, time to vote on a map, a win for accessibility, and of course, the art of the week and movie of the week. So, save the date. Friday, September 1st, 2023 is going to be the upcoming raid. So, a few things to keep in mind, just like when King's Falls and Vault of Glass returned, contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours. Clearing the raid with contest mode active is the first step to access challenge mode in the Director and the Secret Triumph. Completing the Secret Triumph, which consists of a curated list of challenges that must be completed in challenge mode, will be how a fire team can snag the World First title and get that sweet, sweet belt. To enforce the Triumph requirements in challenge mode, your fire team will wipe if you fail the success conditions during an encounter. Again, I actually really like that change because it means, hey, you are forced to work around the challenge,
Yep.
which I think is fine.
I I wish they would actually just have that mode available all the time because it's so much easier than having a challenge failed pop up in the left side of the screen.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Again, I do like what they've done with these challenge modes, kind of amping up the difficulty, especially, again, with the ones that have been reprised, such as King's Fall and Vault of Glass. Now, they still have not stated what raid it is. Now, Danny, what did you originally call what the raid would be?
I have like two guesses. I have one that's pretty solid, being Wrath of the Machine, and another being a curveball. They've reprised Crown of Sorrows.
That would be interesting to see Crown of Sorrows. But I kind of have to agree with you, Wrath of the Machine, specifically with we're going into season 22. And this is the third. Pardon me. This is the third season of Lightfall, and we know that Final Shape. We know for a fact that Final Shape is, or at least next season, leading up to Final Shape, there's going to be a lot of Vex based things happening. That has been being nodded to several times over the past God knows how many twabs. So I am kind of curious, and I think you're definitely on a right call for Wrath of the Machine. That makes a lot of sense. Uh,
Because Crota doesn't make sense
yeah,
at all.
Crota doesn't make sense. Also, no, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like nobody really wants to see Crota.
Oh, like,
It
the
was
amount of
cool.
things they'd have to do to make Crota work as a raid would just make that raid not fun. Which,
Yeah,
it's already not super fun because every encounter can be done by one person.
yeah, and it's also like massively annoying,
Yep.
is what it is. So, along with that, does the Container Store offer options for the Veil? Asking for Season of the Deep. So I'm basically going to paraphrase this entire section because, frankly enough, TLDR. Um, if you haven't yet, if you've done the unfinished business quest, you can go through Veil Containment and you can go see all of the logs that have been updated every week. And it is massive lore drops. Danny and I have talked about this in previous
Yep.
TWABs. And they are going to continue to do this for the rest of the season and going into Season 22 and Season 23. So, couple things to note. First and foremost, if you want to not be bombarded with lore, I would recommend just going in, doing the mission, and then grabbing the info just once a week, get it done over with, and be like, alright, cool, nice lore, I'm out. But if you're someone like me who hasn't done any of this, because I'm lazy as shit, to be honest, Danny, I'm probably going to do it in Season 23 when all of them are uploaded. I'm just going to sit there and look at all of the lore at once, because I'm a sadist.
They are pretty big.
They are massive. Um, they are massive. They are massive lore drops. Like, and there's a lot. Like, it is not like the typical like spare conversations you have, you know, at like the seasonal area. No, these are massive from what I've heard.
When they actually found that they had been dropping every week, I think both Bife and Mylan went, hold on a second. Wait a second, these are pretty big.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of shit. Not only is there like is it big like just raw amounts of lore, but there's a lot of importance to this lore. Like the lore is actually very very important, and unfortunately, there's a fucking lot of it. There's a lot.
The stuff they released in Veil Containment's logs can actually change the narrative of Destiny as a whole. Like, they're that big.
Yeah, and we'll probably end up seeing a lot of it in what happens with Final Shape, obviously after the trailer. Which, by the way, if you have not watched the trailer, for the love of God, please go watch the fucking trailer. Oh my God.
We're gonna get a big look the 22nd.
You know, if I'm gonna be honest, I genuinely think that it could be like Final Shape because there's no season confirmed after Final Shape, right?
They have a full 4 confirmed. Final Shape is just the end of Light and Dark Saga. There is stuff after.
Jesus, so they're not even planning on going to D3
No,
yet.
they're not done with Destiny anytime soon.
Which, to be fair, again, credit to Bungie. And I will say this over and over and over and over again. Bungie's world building is some of the best world building I have ever seen from a studio. I mean, take a look at their Golden Goose. That was Halo. Halo was a phenomenal, and I mean, it's still considered one of the best games ever produced. And no, I'm not counting the new Halo, Halo Infinite. I'm not counting Halo 4. I'm not counting Halo 5, because those weren't done by Bungie. I'm counting Halo 1 through 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo Reach being the last one that Bungie made.
Yeah.
Bungie is... Go ahead.
Yeah, Bungie ended where the canon Halo story ended, basically. They were like, that's all the source material we have. That's it. We don't feel like it needs to go further.
Yeah, like, they ended the story. They're like, Halo 3, done. Well, to be fair, they also had Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach, but
Reach
in fairness,
yeah.
Halo ODST was a precursor, or technically a middle cursor to Halo 2, because it happens right after New Mombasa, which is the second mission in the story.
Yeah,
Well,
like
technically third, because it's the initial mission, then it's Arbiter, then it's New Mombasa. I think. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And then
Those
Halo
were
Reach
context.
and then Halo Reach is the context to why Halo 1 is wow, they started in Halo 1. Like, and again, both games, as much as people want to shit on Halo 3 ODST, that was a phenomenal game. Like, and there was so much lore and world building in just New Mombasa, a singular city. Bruh. And then Halo Reach is just, I think everyone can agree, is just an absolute banger of a fucking game. Like, I don't think a single person was mad about what happened with Halo Reach. Like, Halo Reach, like, the story made me cry, but Halo Reach was a phenomenal game, both world-building-wise, gameplay-wise, progression-wise. It was just everything. And again, it was the last game that Bungie worked on, and they were like, you know what? We're done. We've done everything we wanted. Blah, 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 blah. They separated, and now they're here on D2. But yeah, Bungie, going back after my rant, Bungie's world building has always been top tier. I don't know another studio that has done world building quite as large or quite as well as Bungie, other than like probably the like major competitors, which would be like Blizzard. I don't even know if I'd put Riot Games in there.
I've been finding a lot of it in the other series that I play extensively with Remnant.
Oh,
Remnant has a lot.
Oh, don't even get me started. Remnant from the Ashes, the initial, was absolutely fucking mortifying learning all of the goddamn lore. God, there was so fucking much. And it also was just confusing as fuck trying to figure out the goddamn story.
It feeds it to you a little bit, but it feeds it to you a lot in the actual journals.
Yeah, so if you actually take the time to look, it's pretty solid. But I mean, like I said, Bungie's always been a great lore / world building studio. And getting to see Veil Containment, I don't like how they handled Veil Containment. And now, with that being said, they have noted that players were not happy with and this is something that they stated, is players were not happy with how the fact that you had to go through Veil Containment the entire like mission each time to do it, kind of a pain in the ass when there's nothing available, like no rewards from the mission other than the lore, which kind of seems like a waste of time because it is annoying as shit. It's not a short mission. So, and they did state that they would be improving how they're going to be handling Veil Containment in the future for both Season 22 and Season 23. So I'm kind of hoping that they actually give you a skip. Like you can choose to skip the combat to just go straight to the Veil Containment to just read the logs. And then go, like, kill Callus or something and be done with it. I'd be fine with that.
Also, just, like, having a little ping on the map when there's a new one, that would be great.
Yes. God, yes. Oh my god. Because it's also impossible to fucking find if you're not actually paying attention. Oh my god.
It's way off to the side.
Yeah, because they don't show the picture here, but it is the room before this hallway. It is the room before this, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the room before this where the monitor is, and it's at the same monitor every time, every week. So, with that being said, Solstice.
It's Solstice.
It's Solstice. There's nothing fucking new, and it's still boring as fuck.
Yep. You can skip that category and go straight on to the spicy one that's after it.
Yep. I will say, though, the one thing I will say is that I love that they called Eva Space Grandma. That's pretty good.
I mean, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong, Space Grandma. I am curious, though, if they'll ever kill her character off.
Probably not.
God, is she a Guardian?
I don't think she is, but...
Actually, hold on. You know what, since we can skip Solstice being Solstice, what is actually Eva? Like, who the fuck is she?
She's just basically like a shop owner, but she somehow has like a lot of stories of what she did to survive the Red War.
And everybody respects the fuck out of her. Like, nobody wants
Yeah,
to fuck with her. Why? I need to know.
like she doesn't have the light, and she survived the Cabal invasion. Like, it's like, all right,
Bro, she's not even strapped. Like, she's not even like Amanda was, where she kept chaperone on her. She's not even strapped.
yeah,
All I can think of is that she has the deadliest chunkla on planet Earth.
probably.
Honestly, Danny, I really want a short now of just Eva just throwing a LeChonkla across the way and just hitting Shax or Savala when they do something dumb. I want a short of that now. Like, you just see her and then all of a sudden she just throws the LeChonkla, poof, just smacking Savala or Shax across the head. Oh my god, please somebody make that. Make a sketch of that. The deadliest
Funny.
the deadliest base human in the tower. That would be phenomenal. Now, as you said, the spiciest of things to come, Warden's Law, or AKA Warden's Wee Ball. Warden's Law is coming back. And now, Danny, this is something that you have been very excited for. So you know what? I'm gonna let you handle this section here.
I have been waiting for them to bring this gun back for so long because it's a one-of-a-kind hand cannon. It's a burst fire hand cannon that fires 2 shots in quick succession. It was not super great when they first introduced it, but it's still a hand cannon and basically one-tapped everything at the time. It's coming back right after a couple really spicy hand cannon buffs.
You mean a lot of hand cannon buffs. Hand cannons have been getting a lot of love recently.
And them also making it its own frame, meaning that there might be more coming in the future.
Now, to be fair, if they do make it its own frame, will they also change Crimson to give it that same kind of frame?
They did mention that Warden's Law is pretty much going to become a legendary version of Crimson. Which excites me greatly.
I really hope that they actually both get their own individual frames, because oh, that'll be spicy.
So the only difference between it and Crimson is the fact that it'll be a 2-round burst instead of a 3-round burst with a slightly longer delay. So this one's gonna have like 600 RPM.
Yeah, but that's all.
Bursts?
Well, Crimson also has, like, the way that they say it is that Crimson basically has smaller bullets. That's why it fires 3. And Warden's is basically fucking slugs. It's basically gonna act like a fucking slug shotgun.
Yep. And they go on to talk about, well, they had to tune it because, like, why would you use this hand cannon over, like, a 120, which has kind of, like, the same niche.
Or just Crimson.
So, they summed it up with one quick number, a TTK of 0.93. So, yeah, if you can land your shots, Warden's Law is gonna be a menace in PvP. It's gonna kill faster than a 120, which 120s are pretty spicy right now.
And they are very hard in the meta right now.
So, Warden's Law's coming in. They're talking it up like it's gonna be pretty fun. And
now,
it's also gonna have the Nightfall origin trait, which will give you health back on kills.
Right. Now, with that being said, Danny, if you please would not mind stating some 120 RPM hand cannons that are popular in the meta right now.
one of the newcomers is actually the one from Solstice right now, because it got a nice little rework in its perks. They give it some better synergy from its initial run, which I'm glad, because 120s when that was introduced were real bad. They're less bad now, but let me take a quick look at some notable 120s.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I'm not like none of the major 120s are coming to me because I as a hand cannon enjoyer, as a very big hand cannon enjoyer, I love hand cannons. But I feel like all of the ones that I use are 140s or 160s, other than Ariana's Vow.
Yeah, so an oldie but a goodie is Krimmel's Dagger. That's a pretty solid 120. Let's see.
That's an old school
where's...
Crucible one, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that got sunset right before Season of Arrivals, correct?
It has been a while, but it is still around. I know people still like to use it. Let's see, what's another one?
Yeah, because all the ones that I can think of are all 140s and above. Like, Awstringer is a 140, I think, right?
Aya's Luna is too.
Yeah. Is Dire Promise a 140 or a 160?
Dire Promise is 140 as well.
Yep, and then obviously they stated Igneous Hammer as well. That's also a 140, isn't it?
Yep. Another 120 is a Loud Lullaby from the Moon.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, wait, hold on. Is it bottom dollar a 120?
Take a look and see. I think Bottom Dollar might actually be a little bit faster than that. Pure Poetry, I know, is a 120. That one's an odd gun.
I thought bottom dollar was a 120, but that's also it's in between shots takes so fucking long. That's why I think it's a 120.
It is in fact a 120.
Nailed it. Which is probably also the reason why it was used for one season and then immediately dropped. Because it was good the season it came out, and then it was absolute garbage the next season. Because I remember that, because I was so excited. I was so excited to farm my bottom dollar, because the only place you could fucking farm it was fucking Gambit.
The main competitor in the 120 slot, which is also coming back, Igneous.
Wait, Igneous was a 120?
Igneous is a 120.
Oh, I thought it was a 140. Maybe it's just like all the insane fucking perks that it gets, though. Maybe
Yeah,
help
Igneous has some pretty great perks.
There's a reason why it dominated as a secondary weapon in Trials. When it first got introduced, that thing fucking hurt a lot.
It is hands down one of the best legendary hand cannons.
Oh yeah, and we've seen some really good ones. Like any of the ones that we've named so far have all been very solid hand cannons. But yeah, a .93 TTK is fucking cracked.
Yeah.
That's roughly about what, 110 to the head? No. So 25 per body, 45 per crit, going up to 90 damage per burst against players. Yeah, 90, 90, 180. Yikes.
Yeah. And they haven't talked about what kind of perks you can get on it yet, so we'll have to see.
I really hope it's not just PvP perks. I really wanted to have good PvE perks as well.
Oh, I guarantee it probably will, because it's a Nightfall weapon.
This is also true. No, that is fair. So we will see how it's going, and hopefully it goes well. Because I know Danny, you and I are definitely going to spend some time going to farm that.
I am very excited to see it back because, the original gun, one of the things that makes Warden's Law interesting. Rampage and Kill Clip are in the third column.
They're in the third column, not the fourth?
On the original Warden's Law, Rampage and Kill Clip are in the third column, while the fourth column is Snapshot, Feeding Frenzy, Threat Detector, Rangefinder, Outlaw, and Moving Target.
Oh, Rampage or Kill Clip with Outlaw. That's actually possible. That is a straight up two shot.
And it for Crucible counterpart, Rangefinder.
Yeah. Actually, hold up. Doesn't Igneous Hammer also get Rampage Rangefinder?
Yep, but in the opposite columns.
That's right.
It's just interesting to see, like, this gun is so old that it has damage perks in the third column.
Yeah.
Which they kept with the Last Wish weapons.
Ooh, you have
So
a point
the
about
Last
that.
Wish weapons can, in fact, roll with Rampage and Killcliff. Which is really funny.
Who thought 2 damage perks on a weapon was a good fucking idea?
And the better part is the Last Wish weapons are craftable now, so you can have the enhanced versions of both of those.
Oh my god, I can only imagine the amount of fucking damage you can do. Jesus.
There's a reason why people bullied Callie so much.
To be fair, she also deserved to be bullied.
A little bit, yeah.
Fuck that bitch. Alright, now on to the other spicy topic, Danny. The economy. And this is the one that I've heard a lot of people not be happy about. So there's going to be a lot of changes to the economy here. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to TLDR it, we actually have to go through individually and state why this is bad. So, for the TLDR of how this is going to work, post-match rewards for Crucible Strikes and Gambits change due to player feedback. Weapons coming back into the pools for Crucible Strikes, Gambits, Nightfalls, Iron Banner, and Trials of Osiris. There will also be increased drop rates for Ritual engrams upon completion. Really solid change. I think we all both can agree with that.
Yeah, that's overall fantastic change.
Yes.
They needed it.
Yes. Now, here's the bad part. Material caps are changing. Ascendant shards are going from 10 to 30. Ascendant alloys are going from 10 to 30. And enhancement prisms are going from 50 to 100. Now, the reason why this is not good is specifically stated that I saw this recently is that you cannot keep them in the Postmaster. Because it will act like Glimmer. Is that if one drops, you will not be able to acquire it. Which I think is super fucking shitty.
I have a hot take on this.
Ooh, let me hear your hot take.
I think it's fine.
Really?
Because, like, they said literally only the top, 1% of players actually get the cap of any of these materials.
Really? I would... See, here's the thing. I would love to see...
small.
I would love to see the numbers on that.
Because, if you're getting close to the caps of these being, tripled, you're doing a lot of in-game content. Which means you're probably not using them. Because you already have cracked out gear. And you don't need them.
Just start upgrading random shit at that point.
I mean, that's literally why, most streamers have, their vaults filled with fully masterworked exotics. They're not good roll exotics. They just keep their inventories clear of all the upgrade materials.
Yeah, and because you do get some materials back if you dismantle it.
Yep. But, I don't see a problem with them just disappearing if you have the cap, because, 30's a lot. You maybe get one of each of those materials by doing, a Master or Grandmaster Nightfall.
Yeah. Well, and also, it's very important to note that if you're masterworking, let's say, for example, exotic gear, because I know a lot of people have taken the time to farm all the lost sectors this season, since obviously it was a catch-up season, so there wasn't too much content. There was still enough to keep us basically preoccupied, but not enough to be crazy. A lot of people went back and farmed Nightfalls. this is actually a great deal for that because, if you'll note, in order to masterwork exotic gear, you need 3 Ascendant shards. Now,
Yep.
currently, as of the moment, you can basically masterwork 3 exotic pieces with a cap of 10. With the new cap, you can now masterwork 10,
Yep.
which is really fucking good. Ascendant alloy, a little bit harder to come by if I'm being completely honest.
Yep.
So if you somehow manage to max out on Ascendant alloy, bruh.
Like, what are you doing? How are you doing this?
Yeah, I don't
Why
know
are
how
you putting that much time there?
Yeah, I don't know how you're fucking making the cap. Now the enhancement prism one is you will be using a lot of enhancement prisms, just upgrading legendaries, upgrading exotics, both weapons and armor. So seeing the cap go from 50 to 100 is a really nice change. Because on average, you're roughly going to use anywhere between 5 to 10 pieces based on whether or not it's a legendary or an exotic piece upgrading it.
Yep.
So this basically took it from, 5 to 10 pieces to roughly about, 10 to 20, which is really fucking solid.
Yeah. And like, again, if anyone's getting to that many of them at a time, you're probably not upgrading stuff at that point.
Yeah. So just save it for the next season. It's a shame that you still can't vault it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just because I know a lot of people have a little bit of inventory space problems. So yeah. But the good news, and this is the news that I love the most, is that Dead Man's Tale will be added back to the loot pool for the exotic mission rotator when Presage is available. The other thing to note is that Dead Man's Tale will now be craftable, which is fucking terrifying. Because this gun terrorized PvP when it first came out.
Having it craftable, I think, is the best thing they could have done to it. Because scout rifles are still sitting in a really iffy position.
And I mean, let's be honest, DMT is probably the best scout rifle, with the exception of, like, maybe 1 or 2 others.
Now, if they also do this with Hawkmoon,
Hawkmoon,
I'll be pretty happy.
Yes. I would love to see that with Hawkmoon, because it makes sense. It makes sense because they're as far as I know of, they're the only 2 exotics that were in an exotic mission where you can get random rolls, correct?
Yep, they're the only ones with random rolls.
Right. And obviously Hawkmoon was an OG from D1, so people were very excited to see it come back. So, I'm very excited because all of my Hawkmoon rolls are kind of mid. So, DMT also gets some insane fucking rolls. I mean, absolutely cracked rolls.
So I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yes. Especially with the DMT fucking origin trait. Bruh.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty fucking good. So, for those of you DMT enjoyers, y'all are about to be eaten real good. Also, now I don't know if it'll be retroactive, but in case you get deep sight harmonizers, I'm hoping that it will also work on previous DMTs. Because I have 3 of them sitting in my vault right now.
Yeah.
I have a PvE roll, a PvP roll, and one that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but it had really funny rolls. So I made sure to have it.
Also, Zer literally sells like one every weekend.
Yes. Now, the interesting thing to note is that because DMT will be craftable now, Zer will no longer sell it.
But it's also going to be in the mission rotator, so you can just get it.
So you can just do the mission. And, fun fact, you don't have to do it on Master to get it. You can just do it on Legendary.
Just get it.
Now, I guarantee you what they'll probably do is that you'll have a better chance of getting a red border by doing it on Master, or getting like some kind of guarantee for doing it on Master. Which, if I'm gonna be honest, Master isn't actually that bad. For the most part, the only thing that Master really does is, other than obviously scale the enemy damage and health, it puts you on a timer. Now, the good news is Presage is actually a relatively simple mission to start with. Once you get through the initial, like, vent system and the way that works, it's actually pretty easy. And Danny and I started farming it on Master. I remember when we two-manned that. Oh my god.
It was fun to speedrun.
That was so much fun. And I remember, like, the strategy talks you and I had on stream of, like, the best ways to handle it. That was so much fun, trying to speedrun Presage. Oh my god, that was such a blast. And with the new weapons, and the near fucking... Because Presage came out before the subclasses got reworked.
And the sandbox changes.
Oh, yes. So, I cannot wait to delete things with the new shit. So, I'm really fucking excited for it. Now, Cathedral of Dusk, more like Cathedral of Must, or not, you decide. The Trials maps are going to be Cathedral of Dusk, Vostok, and Anomaly. Now, interestingly enough, we haven't seen Cathedral in a long time.
Cathedral's kind of an odd one.
It's a very large map, isn't it?
It is a big map.
Yeah.
Vostok is also kind of not the best.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Vostok. I think Vostok, personally, is fucking boring as shit. It's just Sniper.
Yep.
Row, is what it is. It's Sniper
Anomaly,
Row.
though?
Anomaly is a solid map.
Yeah, that's fun.
Because Anomaly has all kinds of ways to get through. But Cathedral... But, yeah, no. I think Anomaly is a good choice. I think Vostok is ass. Cathedral's weird. I don't know how to fully feel about it. It's cool to see it. I don't know if I'd want to play it, though.
It's definitely an interesting map choice.
Yeah. With that being said, you can cast your votes on August 1st and 2nd for Trials. Now, with that being said, a huge thank you to Games for Change. Love accessibility at Bungie. So, Bungie was at the Change Festival live stream, and just taking a look at all the cool shit that they did.
They won the award for accessibility this year.
Which, again, Bungie just doing Bungie things for their community. To make sure that everybody has the chance to play the game. And again, it's Bungie. It's so hard not to respect Bungie when it comes to trying to help their their community, to be able to enjoy D2. So, and then we've got the new player report. So, we've got the Kindling Armor issue. This is an issue that actually happened, last year during last Solstice.
Yep.
The issue has kept the Kindling pop-up active for some players and further blocks quest progress when rekindling all armor on one character. This happened last year, and I'm sad that they haven't fucking fixed it. Because this is such a dumb issue.
It only pops up once a year. Because no one's really working on it outside of when Solstice is coming up.
And it's already boring as shit. Now, I don't know, did you see what they said on Twitter?
I had not.
They stated that during the second week of Solstice, you'll be able to summon your Sparrow.
Nice.
So, that is a nice change, because that is not a small map.
It's like, I had no issues, like, getting across it, but then again, I'm using the silly mobility tech.
Yeah, also, Strand exists now, so you just get to Spider-Man around the fucking...
You really don't need the Sparrow. The Sparrow's just kind of pointless. You don't need it there.
Yeah, I will say though, I've been seeing a lot of deaths on Twitter from the Cabal ships, and they're not pods. I mean the Cabal ships have been
pretty funny.
dropping and killing people. That shit
Yeah,
fucking makes me laugh so bad.
it's really funny.
The one that I always go back to is I Frostbolt when he was running Solstice, seeing his buddy just get absolutely fucking RKO'd by a Cabal ship. Have you seen that one, Danny?
That is great.
It's so good. It's so good. All right, event card reminder. Again, the event ends on August 8th, so please make sure to try and finish the event card before then. Bring a sparrow to Bonfire Night. Beginning next week, you'll be able to sparrow to your heart's content in Bonfire. Have fun. The other known issues. Several Solstice items are missing from collections. Kind of sucks. We have identified and temporarily turned off a performance optimization that caused visual flickering for some transparent objects on the NVIDIA 3K and 4K series cards. While we investigate a permanent fix for all players, we anticipate minimal impact on overall performance. The Solstice Challenge in the hot seat is not progressing from all Neomuna activities. Players can still complete this objective by completing Lost Sectors or the Hypernet Current Strike.
Yeah.
So,
those are literally the only things that are progressing that one. I know, because I did it.
yeah, so there are ways to get around it. Certain Honored Centurions in the Gilded Precept Lost Sector are abnormally bright. That's kind of memey. And due to an issue, we have temporarily disabled the Bolstering Detonation, Focusing Strike, Impact Induction, and Momentum Transfer armor mods. Danny, do you know why they disabled them?
Once again, we can thank the Titans for rapidly swapping between armor pieces that have them and getting infinite barricade and supers. Thanks, Titans, for disabling another crucial mod for a lot of builds.
Oh my god. Titans! Why are Titans always the...
PvP.
You fucks are the sweatiest assholes I think I've ever met. Like, and
It's
I don't say that lightly.
PvP builds.
And I don't say that lightly. Because I have been shitting on hunters since Silence and Squall came out. I have been rinsing hunters for Silence and Squall coming out. Because that super actually had no counterplay.
Literally this entire, past year, everything that's been disabled has basically been because of, predominantly Titans.
Fucking assholes ruining the fun for all of us.
I still laugh that Bungie literally destroyed Syntheseps with glaives because of Titans.
To be fair, it was a necessary evil. As much as I didn't want it to be.
They killed the heavy glaive and Syntheseps, basically.
Yeah, I also really hope that they go back and fix the fucking exotic glaives, because I finally went back and did the exotic glaive mission. That glaive is ass.
Fun. It's such a fun glaive because it insta-freezes things and causes a massive shatter.
Oh, I was talking about the one from Throne World.
Oh, no.
No, that one's ass. Those are ass.
Those are awful.
Those are
the ones
all
from
ass.
Throne World, I think they forgot about those.
Yeah, they're
just
all ass.
Awful. The new heavy one?
The new heavy one is pretty good. Yeah, the new heavy one's pretty fun. So, somewhere in the distance, AC/DC's Thunderstruck plays, and this is an arc montage from B1XDZ. And it is a hunter using Storm Strike? What is the name of the new one?
Is Arc? No, it's the old one. It's the moving. It's the mobile super.
What the fuck? Oh, that's so weird.
It's odd seeing an arc staff that isn't projectile now.
Right. Us Screebs can't be any more terrifying. Our community, hold my fishing hat. Yeah, that is terrifying. Fuck off. Oh my god, that is gross. Yeah, this was made by Madam Wizard on Twitter.
I think they succeeded.
Also, it's just fucking Golem.
Yeah.
Golem.
You know the sad thing is, it looks more like Golem than the game.
Facts. Now, with that being said, relatively small swab. Don't expect this for the next couple of them once the season starts to end, because
we're getting close to raid info.
Yep. This is gonna be rough. This is gonna be a very rough next 3 weeks, especially with the new season coming out and the new raid or the reprised raid. So, yeah. With that being said, Danny, what was your favorite part about the TWAB this week?
I mean, surprising no one. Warden's Law is coming back.
I will have to also agree as a hand cannon enjoyer, uh, and I will say an elitist hand cannon enjoyer. I don't say that word lightly. I am a very much
I,
elitist hand cannon enjoyer.
they got a lot of spicy, a lot of spicy returning weapons that they mentioned in a blog post.
Yes, indeed. Uh, and with that being said, uh, Danny, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitch and YouTube under the same name.
You can also find me on Twitch and YouTube at DominiFox or on Twitter at DominiFox1. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. We all hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, don't be a sweat lord. We'll see you guys next time.